Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass or ukulele-bass. Let's clear a few things up to begin with. This is basically a small bass guitar. People call it the ukulele-bass, I think, because of its short scale size, but really it's got nothing to do with the ukulele in my opinion. It's a very small bass guitar. It is tuned the same way as a double bass or an electric bass guitar. That is E, the fixed string nearest your chin, A, D, G. So E, the string that would be nearest your chin, A, D, G. So for the rest of this video, I'll just be referring to it as a bass guitar. So let's get started. The plucking motion I use to play the bass guitar is to rest my hand on the top of the uke like that, slightly over, and I'm using these two fingers, the first and the second, to pluck the strings. To the count of basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will be the only plucking motion in this series of videos. If I do use another one, I will demonstrate it, but most of the time I am using that technique with my right or my plucking hand. The main job of a bass guitarist is to underpin the music. You can play chords on a bass guitar, but most bass players tend to play the underpinning of what the guitarist, the piano player or the ukulele player is playing. So if they were playing a G chord, you can play a G note like that to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can play more than that. You can play like a sort of walking bass line. For this you are playing the Arpeggio of G. So let's get started. So now we'll do the Arpeggio of G. It is the 3rd fret of the E string, the string nearest your chin. The 2nd fret of the A string, next one down, and the 5th fret of the A string. So it's 3rd, 2nd, 5th, then back to that one. So it's the 3rd of the thick E string, 2nd fret of the A, 5th fret of the A. Now to play it properly, do this one, then back to that one to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to a regular count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, it's the 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the A string, then back to 2nd fret of the A string to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll play that again. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Due to the way this instrument is tuned, you can use that same formula we've just used on the G chord for the C. You just drop everything down one string. So it's the 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D and 5th fret of the D. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the exact same formula, just drop down one string. So it's C would be there, the 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D and 5th fret of the D. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To this count. 1, 2, 4. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. The next chord we need is a D chord, and we can use the same formula we've just used. This time you start from the 5th fret of the A string, and so it's there, so it's 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string and 7th fret of the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's for the D chord, it is the 5th fret of the A string, the 4th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the D string, 4th fret of the D string, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So now we know the chords and their shapes. Let's move on to playing a song. We will do the 12-bar blues in the key of G. So there'll be 4 bars of G. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two bars of C. 2 bars of G. 1 bar of D. 1 bar of C, 2 bars of G. And we'll go for that again. 4 bars of G. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G. 1 bar of D, 1 bar of C, 2 bars of G. So now we'll try playing that in a continuous flow. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. and again after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 4 bars of G. For most of this video you've seen what my left hand, or the fretting hand, has been playing. I will now show you what my right is doing. I am just using a G shape up here. So for the G note on the E string, I use my first, then. So I'm using first on the G note on the E string I should say, dropping down, so on the G chord, on the E string, on the A string, so on the thick E string, so on the G shape, E string, A string, when I go to the C chord, I just drop everything down one. When I go to the D shape, back to the C, then G. And that's what my right hand is doing during these videos. Some people use 3 fingers, some use 2, and some just use 1. I use 2 personally, but you can use whichever number of fingers you wish. Well, I hope you found that video useful on the ukulele bass, U-bass, or as I call it, the bass guitar. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. There's a series of these videos coming, so subscribe to Blackpool Music School to be kept up to date. So until next time, keep practicing, keep playing, and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-bass, ukulele bass or bass guitar. This is basically a bass guitar. It's listed sometimes a U-bass or ukulele bass. I think it's because of its small size, but it is not tuned like a ukulele. It is tuned like a traditional bass guitar. So, with that out the way, let's get started. For all the videos in this series, I am tuned E, the thickest string nearest your chin, A, D, and then G. So E, the string nearest your chin, A, then D, then G. So E, A, D, G. If you play guitar, there will be another 2 treble strings down here. So it's the same tuning as the bass strings on a normal guitar. So if you've watched the first video, you will have learnt this shape. And we learnt the 12 bar blues in G. For this video I'll be showing you how to play in other keys using the same formula we've just used there. In this video I'll be showing you how to play in other keys using the same pattern and moving style you did in the first video. So in this video we'll be playing in the key of A. So this time we start at the 5th fret and use the same pattern. That is your A chord arpeggio shape. When you want the D, you drop down one string. So this time we start at the 5th fret on the A string. That is D, and your E is at the 7th. So if we did the 12 bar blues, it'd be at the 5th fret of the E string. 1. We drop down one string, then back to the A position, the 5th fret of the E string. For the E chord, we go to the 7th of the A string, 5th of the A string, then back up to the 5th of the E string for our A chord. So if we did the 12 bar blues, it'd be 4 starting at the 5th fret of the E string. We drop down one fret to the 5th fret of the A string for our D. Back to the 5th fret of the E string for our A chord. 7th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the E string. So that will be the 12 bar blues in the key of A. So now we can play that, we'll play it with a bit of rhythm and speed. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4 bars of A, starting at the 5th fret of the E string. Drop down one string I should say, to the 5th fret of the A string. Back up to the 5th fret of the E string. 7th fret of the A string. 5th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the E string. So again, 12 bar blues in the key of A. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will write the name of the chords in the link down below. All you need to remember is it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to each letter. So when you see 4 A's, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one letter, the second letter, third letter, fourth letter. So now we've covered playing in the key of A. We're now going to play in the key of C, just using a different starting position and the same movement. So let's get started. So now we're going to play in the key of C, the 12 bar blues. We're using exactly the same chord shapes and exactly the same movements between each chord, we're just starting off on a different point. So this time we're starting off at the 3rd fret of the A string. Then we drop down one string to the 3rd fret of the D string, then back up to the 3rd fret of the A string. Then the 5th fret of the D string, back to the 3rd fret of the D string, then back up to the 3rd fret of the A string. So these chords would be C. C would be the 3rd fret of the A string. When we drop down one to the 3rd fret of the D string, that is F. Then we go back to the 3rd fret of the A string for C. The 5th fret of the D string is another G shape. Back to the 3rd fret of the D string for your F. Then back to the 3rd fret of the A string for your C. So let's play the 12-bar blues in the key of C, starting at the 3rd fret of the A string, 4 bars of C. We drop down one string, 3rd fret of the D string, for your F chord. Then back to C. 5th fret of the D string for your G chord. Back to the 3rd fret of the D string for your F chord, then back to G. So we'll play that together. 12-bar blues in the key of C after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, C, G, F, C. Some of you may have noticed that there's a G here, a G here, and there are G's in other places as well as C's and D's. Which one you choose to play is up to you. So we'll do the 12-bar blues in the key of C, this time without stopping, playing all the way through. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Again, 4 bars of C. We are now going to play the 12-bar blues in the key of D. It's a similar format to what we've been using. This time we're starting at the 5th fret of the A string for our D chord. So we need 4 of them, so we'll do 4 Ds. 1, 2, 3, 4. We drop down one string for our G, so the 5th fret of the D string. This is your G chord. Then back up to the 5th fret of the A string for your D chord. 7th fret of the D string for your A. 5th fret for your G. 5th fret of the A string for your D. So go for that again. D is the 5th fret of the A string. We need 4 bars of D. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 2 bars of G, so we drop down one string. back up to the A string, 5th fret for your D chord, 2 bars. 7th fret at the D string for your A chord, back to the 5th fret for your G chord, 5th fret at the A string for your D chord. So we will now play that all the way through, starting at the 5th fret at the A string, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 12 bar blues in the key of D, starting at the 5th fret of the A string, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And that is the 12 bar blues in the key of D. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to Blackpool Music School to be kept up to date with the series on the bass, U-bass, ukulele, bass guitar. If you found it useful, like I say, please give us a thumbs up and help our channel grow. Thank you for watching, take care and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-bass, ukulele bass or the bass guitar. This is called a U-bass or a ukulele bass. I just call it a small bass guitar. It's tuned nothing like a ukulele, it is tuned the same as a double bass or an electric bass. So let's get started. For this video I am tuned E, the fixed string nearest your chin, A, D and G. Like I said previously, the same as a double bass or an electric bass guitar. And all the techniques I teach you on this, you can apply to them. So it's the E string, the string nearest your chin, A, D and G. So let's get started. In the previous video we were doing 1 pluck per beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we're going to do it in double time, so there's 2 plucks per beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All we're doing with this hand is just plucking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just plucking twice as fast. So very slow, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 4 bars of G will be 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. So the 12 bar blues in the key of G using that 8th beat pattern. So it's 4 bars of G. So that's 4 bars of G. Two bars of C, 2 bars of G, 1 bar of D, 1 bar of C, 2 bars of G. So we'll play that now without any breaks. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Repeat. When you play that, you can mix the two patterns up. So the first bar, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, basically what you're doing is, when you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a gap between each note, and you're just basically putting another note in there. You're not playing slower or faster, you're just putting another note in there, although it sounds faster. So we'll do 1 bar of quarter notes, then 1 bar of eighth notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... You could even use this on before you change chords. So on the first 3 bars of G, you could play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you're going to change chords, the choice is yours. So play around with that. All that matters is you keep time. So if you say to yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your quarter note beats. Whatever you can fit in between is fine, as long as you are hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can even mix them up in the same bar. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. There I'm doing 1 on the G note, 2 and on that note, 3 on that note and 4 and on that one. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and... So the 12 bar blues could sound like this. So So now we'll apply that over the 12 bar blues. One bar will be in quarter notes, one bar will be in eighths. You can choose which ones you want to do, but I'll just do this as a rough demonstration. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go for that again. One bar of quarter notes, one bar of eighth notes. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course you can apply that to the other chord progressions we've been doing. So if we go back to the C chord progression, or the D chord progression, you may notice I changed it round again there. You can do whatever you wish. As long as you keep time, that's the main thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, there's plenty you can do. Well, I hope you found that video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School to be kept up to date with our video releases. This is part of a series of video on the U-Bass, ukulele bass or bass guitar, so subscribing will keep you up to date when they are released. For more information on Blackpool Music School, follow the links down below. It's to our Twitter page, Facebook page and of course our web page. Until next time, keep playing, keep practicing, take care and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, ukulele-bass, or as I call it, a short-scaled bass guitar, because basically, excuse the pun, that is what it is. We are tuned E, the thicker string nearest your chin, A, D, G. That's E, A, D, G. So, let's get started. In this video, I'll be showing you an easy way to play the 12-bar blues. All you will need is one chord shape and the ability to jump from strings to strings. And that is all. So, let's get started. You will recognise this chord shape from the previous videos. We are putting our second finger at the 3rd fret of the A string. That is our C. That's C, the note of C. Then we need the 2nd fret of the A string, and then the 5th fret of the A string, then back to the 2nd. So it's the 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D string, 5th fret of the D string, back to the 2nd. Repeat. count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was our C chord. To play the F chord, you simply move everything down one string. So this time we're on the 3rd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string, and 5th fret of the G string, and back to 2nd. So it's 3rd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string, 5th fret of the G string, back to 2nd fret, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, the C was there. All we did was drop one string down and repeat the pattern. And that is our F chord. So C starts at the 3rd fret of the A string, and the F chord starts at the 3rd fret of the D string. We need one more chord to play the 12-bar blues, and that is the G chord in the key of C. So if you go back to your C position, this time you're moving one string up onto the thicker string and repeat the pattern. So it's the 3rd fret now of the E string, the thicker string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the A string, back to the 2nd fret. So it's the 3rd fret of the thick E string, 2nd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the A string, back to 2nd fret, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is your G. So if you're in C there and you want to go to G, you just move everything closer to your chin, one string up, and that is your G chord. So as you can see, C starts on that string there, the A string at the 3rd fret, F starts at the 3rd string of the D string, 3rd fret of the D string, sorry, and the G chord starts at the 3rd fret of the E string. So the 12-bar blues follows the formula. The key you're in, that's what you start off on, and there's 4 bars of that. So in this case we're in the key of C, so that's 4 bars of C. So we'll play 4 bars. 2, 3, 4, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. So we drop down one string to go to the F, and we play that F chord for 2 bars. Then we go back to the C for 2 bars. Then we go to the G for 1 bar, the F for 1 bar, and then C for 2 bars. So to clarify that, if you're in the 12-bar blues in this key of C, you start off with 4 bars of C. So we'll play 4 bars in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 bars of F, we just drop down one string. Then back to C for 2 bars. Then G for 1 bar, F for 1 bar, and C for 2 bars. And we just repeat that pattern, C for 4 bars. F for 2 bars. Back to C. G for one bar, F for one bar, C for two bars. So we will play that through without stopping. I'll write the chord progression down below. It's 4 plucks per letter. So let's get started in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do it again after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, with one chord shape and staying within them 4 frets, we can play the 12-bar blues. We just start off on a different string. Now this is how I'll explain this now. The root is the chord you start off on. So if you're in the key of C, you would start off with a C there. The next chord you would move to would be the 4th chord in the key of C, which is the F. Then you move back to the root. Then you move to the 5th chord in the key of C, which is G, then back to the 4th, then back to the 1st. So I'll go for that again. In the key you're in this case the key of C, you start off with the C chord, and we start there. Then we go to the F chord, back to the C, the G, the F, and then finally back to the C, and you just repeat that pattern. Like I said, the description is written down below so you can follow the chord sequence, and that is roughly how you play the 12-bar blues in the key of C. But with this instrument we can play in any key we really need using that chord shape, just starting off in a different position. So now we know the chord progression and the way the fingers fall round each other, we'll move into a different key. So you need to remember the chord shape there and how they all relate to each other. So this time we're going to do the 12-bar blues in the key of D. So your starting point this time is the 5th fret of the A string, and you play 4 bars of D. For the next chord you simply drop down 1 string like you did with the F chord and 2 bars of that chord. Back up to your root or your starting position. Back to the top string for 1 bar at the 5th fret. The chord again at the 5th fret of the D string. Then back to your starting position. So your starting position is the 5th fret of the A string, and we play that for 4 bars. We drop down 1 string, repeat for 2 bars. Back to the starting position for 2 bars. We move to the top string for 1 bar, back down to the next position, then back to start position. So now we'll play the 12-bar blues in the key of D, starting off at the 5th fret of the A string, 4 bars, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop down 1 string, back to start position. Starting on the thicker string of the 5th fret of the E string, back down to that one. start position. So we'll have a run through of the 12 bar blues in the key of D without pausing in between. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To use this system, all you really need to know is the name of the note on the A string here, that string there. Second one down from your chin, this one here. And you can play the 12 bar blues in any key, a basic 12 bar blues I should say. So now we'll pick something a more bluesier key. We'll pick E flat. Now for E flat we start at the 6th fret of the A string, so there's 4 bars starting there. We drop down one string, back up to starting position, move up to the thicker string, down to that one again, and start position 2 bars. So again, we're starting at the 6th fret of the A string, and this is D sharp or E flat. So we do 4 bars. Drop down one string, back to start position. Up to this thicker string, back down to that one, back to start position. So let's have a run through of the 12 bar blues in the key of D sharp and E flat, starting at the 6th fret of the A string, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, with one chord shape and following a few simple rules, you can play the 12 bar blues in any key you wish. All you really need to know is that chord shape and your starting position on the A string. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the link down below you will find links to our Twitter page, Facebook page and our website of course. So thank you for watching, take care and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, Ukulele-Bass or a short scale bass guitar. We are tuned E, the string nearest your chin, A, D, G. That is E, A, D, G. So let's get started. In this video we will be covering what I would call the 1950s and 60s ballad progression. When you hear the background melody, I'm sure you'll recognise it from various songs. For this we'll be learning one new chord shape, but using chord shapes we've previously used in the other video. So let's get the ones you know out of the way first. We'll be using a G, So we start at the 3rd fret of the thick E string, and we'll be using this pattern: 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, this one, this one, and back to that one. To 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is your G chord. For your C, you start at the 3rd fret of the A string, and again 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is your C, starting at the 3rd fret of the A string, and for our D, we start at the 5th fret of the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, G starts at the 3rd fret of the E string. We drop one down, one string down to the 3rd fret of the A string for your C chord. The 5th fret of the A string for your D chord. So that is G, C, D. For this chord sequence to work, we will need to learn a minor chord. And in this case, the chord is E minor. Now, if you play the chord shape we've just played, starting at the 7th fret of the A string, using the same chord shape, that is E major. To make it a minor, we just move this finger here back 1 fret. So from the 6th back to the 5th. And that's now your minor chord. So it's the same chord pattern as before for these two, but this one you move back 1 fret to the 5th fret. So E major, the normal position, we're going to move this one back now. E minor, E major, E minor. And that applies to all the chord shapes we've just done. If you move this finger back 1 fret towards the tuning pegs, you will make that chord a minor. So now we've learnt the chords, let's learn the chord progression. Now, of course, write it in the link down below, and it's 4 plucks per letter, okay? So let's get started. On a G, 1 bar. Then to the E minor, remembering to move this finger back 1 fret. Then C. Then D. Again, G. E minor, remembering to move this finger 1 fret back. C. D. G again. E minor. C. D. And again, G is at the 3rd fret of the E string. E minor is at the 7th fret of the A string. C is at the 3rd fret of the A string. And D is at the 5th fret of the A string. So now I'll play that chord progression for you without pausing in between. So it's 1 bar of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a demonstration of that chord progression using one bar of each letter. You can of course play it with two, like this. That was the 1950s, 1960s chord progression. You'll have heard that in various songs, and it even continues up to this day. And that was in the key of G, and they nearly always follow that formula. Sometimes you'll play one chord more than the other, but nearly always it follows that formula. So, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the description down below there are links to our Twitter page, Facebook page and of course our web page. Until next time, keep playing, keep practicing, take care and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, ukulele-bass, or as I would call it, a short scale bass guitar. It is tuned the same way as an electric bass or a double bass. E, the string nearest your chin, A, D, then G. That's E, A, D, then G. In this series of videos we will be looking at walking jazz bass lines. Although I use the word jazz bass lines, they can be used in any form of music. So in this first video we will be starting off with a simple 2-chord jazz bass line. The 2 chords we will be using are C and G. The C root note is on the 3rd fret of the A string and the G root note is found on the 3rd fret of the E string, so it's there for C, there for E. We're going to do 4 bars of each chord, so we'll start off on C, just 1 pluck per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change to G. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to C. That would be a very basic, excuse the pun, bass line. So now we're going to add to it. We're now going to play on the 1 and the 3. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, back to C. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, back to C. So far we have only played on the root note of the chord, so C or G. We're now going to bring the 5th note in of each chord. to add a bit more variation. So to find the fifth note in the chord of C, it is 2 along and 1 down. 1 string down, as I say, 2 frets along, 1 string down. So it's to find G again. G is your root note at the 3rd fret of the E string, 2 frets along, 1 string down. So again, if it's C, it is 2 frets along and 1 string down to find your fifth of that chord. For G, again, 3rd fret of the E string, 2 frets along, 1 string down, and that is your fifth. So, with that in mind, we'll now play that 2 chord pattern using the root and fifth. We'll always do the root first, then the fifth. The root will be on 1, 2, the fifth will be on 3, 4. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then change to G. Root and fifth again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. So as you can see, that sounds a bit more like a bass line now, simply by playing the root and the fifth note of that chord. So now we will add another note. Now we are going to add the 3rd note of the chord. To find the 3rd note, you start off at your root, you go 1 fret back towards the tuning pegs and 1 string down. So C is there, that's your root note, 1 fret back and 1 string down. That is your 3rd. So if you're in the key of G, or the chord of G I should say, it's 1 fret back, 1 string down. That's your 3rd. So now we've got a root, a 3rd and a 5th. Root, 3rd, 5th, 3rd. Root, 3rd, 5th, 3rd. If we were counting that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the G chord, it's the same again. Back 1 fret, down 1 string. That's your 3rd. So to count that with the root, 3rd and 5th in, it would be root, that'd be root on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So who to play the chord progression again, 4 bars of C, 4 bars of G, it would be like this after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change to G. Back to C. Back to G. C. Now we will play that chord progression without pausing in between. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is one more thing we need to add to make this a walking jazz bass line, and that is to play a note or a fret either side of the chord we're changing to. I will give you a demonstration now. If we were going from C to G, G is there, we can either play that note or that note. So we can either go or. So that one, or that one. So the root is on the 3rd fret, so we can either play the 2nd fret or the 4th fret. I'll show you how we'd apply that to the chord progression we've just done. You will be doing 4 bars of C. So the first 3 bars you'd play normally 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th bar, the bar before you're changing, you would play 1, 2, 3 and play that note. We'll use this note for the sake of argument. Then into the G progression. So to that other chord progression, we would do 3 bars of C normally. Then for the last bar of C, we play 1, 2, 3. The 4 would be this note, then into the G. Again, 3 bars of C and play normally. The last bar of C. If we were going from the chord of G to C, it is a little bit easier because we're already playing one note to the left or right of the root note of C, and it's this one here. If you notice, that is the root of C, the 3rd fret of the A string. We are playing the 2nd fret in the G chord anyway. So going from G to C, you'd play it just normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, going from G to C is a little bit easier because you are playing this one here. You can also play this one here if you wish, but this is the root of C. So to go for that again, from G to C, you can just play the 4 bars of G normally. So we'll go for that one more time. So now we will play through the 2 chord walking jazz bass line from C to G. All you need to remember on this one is you play the first 3 bars of C normally. On the last bar you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 and just play the G normally. So let's get going. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the first video in a series of walking jazz bass lines. This was over 2 chords. In the other videos we're moving to more chords. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School. In the box down below you will find links to our Facebook page, Twitter page and of course our web page. Until next time, keep playing, keep practicing and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, ukulele-bass, or as I would call it, a short scale bass guitar. This is basically tuned the same, excuse the pun basically, this is tuned the same way as a double bass or an electric bass. It is tuned E, the string nearest your chin, A, D, G. That is E, A, D, G. If you were to play guitar, there's another two strings down here, so it is tuned the same as the four bass strings on a guitar. So, let's get started. In the first video, you will have noticed we did the walking jazz bass line over 2 chords. In this video, we're going to do it over 3 chords to the 12-bar blues chord progression. The link to the chords will be down below. Remember, it's 4 plucks per chord. So, let's get started. In this video, we will be using the chords G, C, and D. A quick guide: G starts at the 3rd fret of the E string, C starts at the 3rd fret of the A string, and D starts at the 5th fret of the A string. So now we will go through the chords basically. The first 4 bars are all in G, and you can play them normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we transfer to C, this note is already here, and we can just play C normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But on the 2nd bar, you play this 3, and the 4th is here. Then back to G. So I'll go for that again. The first 4 bars of G, you can just play G normally. Now with walking bass lines, you either play 1 fret to the left or the right of the root note, and as C is here, we are playing this note so we don't have to do anything particularly special. And we just play C for 2 bars. On the 2nd bar of C, we play 3 notes. The 4th note is here to the 2nd fret to go to the root of G. So that 2nd bar of C will be 1, 2, 3, 4, then G normally. So we'll go for the first 8 bars of the key in the 12-bar blues in the key of G. So for the first 4 bars, we just play the G shape normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the rule with walking jazz bass lines is you play, like I said a bit before, you play to the left or right of the root note. So this time we've got this here from the G chord, so we can just go into a C. So the first bar of C you just play normally. The 2nd bar of C you play 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. The 4th count is back up to here, and you play G again. So that movement will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the 2nd bar of C will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the 2nd bar of the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Again, C. So now we'll play the first 8 bars in the key of G to the 12-bar blues. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do that again. The first 8 bars in the key of G of the 12-bar blues. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do that again. The first 8 bars in the key of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we will do the last 5 bars in the key of G. When we're going from the G to the D, we have to do something a little bit different. We're doing the normal G shape, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to use our finger on the 4th fret of the A string, then go into the D chord. So it will be. So we do G, 2nd finger on the 4th fret, then into the D. You can do it that way. The choice is yours which finger you use. So we'll go for that again. From the G to the D, it is 1, 2, 3, the 4th fret of the A string, then into D. 1, 2, 3. So again from G to D. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. So if you were counting it, it'd be 1, 2, 3. The 4 will be on the 4th fret of the A string, then into the D chord, starting at the 5th. So now we come to the last 4 bars of the key of G, 12-bar blues. This is where your fingers will be doing a bit more moving. So we've got the D starting at the 5th fret of the A string, and we play 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3. The 4th of that count is on the 4th fret, so it'd be 1, 2, 3 into the C chord. Which fingers you use is really up to you. 1, 2, 3. The 4th count will be on the 4th fret of the A string, then into the C. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Again, D. 1, 2, 3, the 4th count, 4th fret of the A string into the C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Transferring from the C to the G is done in a similar way. So we're on a C chord. You play for 3 counts, 1, 2, 3, then we'll go to the 4th fret of the E string and go into the G chord. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Again C. So to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the last 4 bars in the key of G 12-bar blues would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just repeat the pattern. So it'd be the last 4 bars would be D, D, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Again, D, 1, 2, 3. So now I will play the 12-bar blues the normal way, and then the next time round I will play it with the walking jazz bass lines. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be how the 12-bar blues sounds normally. So now I will play the 12-bar blues in the key of G with walking bass lines. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I've given a demonstration of the 12-bar blues walking jazz bass lines. Let's try and play it together. So after 4, very slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a brief and quick explanation of walking style jazz bass lines over a 12-bar blues progression. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the description down below you will see links to our Twitter page, Facebook page and of course our web page. So until next time, keep playing, keep practicing and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, ukulele bass, or as I would call it, a short scale bass guitar, because that's really what it is. It is tuned E, A, D, G. E, the thicker string, A, D, G. It is tuned the same way as an electric bass or a double bass, stand-up bass, and is just a shortened version of that. So, let's get started. In this video of walking jazz bass lines, we will be doing a jazzy style bass line using the same principles we've learnt in the previous 2 videos. In this video we'll be using the chords of A minor, the chord of D and the chord of G. We are in the key of G. It is a 2 minor, 5th, 1st or root progression, and this is used quite a bit in jazz. So let's get started. So first we'll start with the G chord. You know where G is if you've seen the previous video. It is at the 3rd fret of the E string. We've covered D in the previous video, that is at the 5th fret of the A string. Now we just need the A minor. The A minor is located at the 5th fret of the E string. That's A major. To make it a minor, you move your this finger here, your first finger, back 1 fret towards the tuning pegs. So this would be major, this would be minor. All we have done is take this note here and moved it 1 fret back towards the tuning pegs. So the chords we'll be using are A minor, D and G. Again, A minor, D, G. So we're in the key of G, so your G, your root, 3rd fret of the E string, your A minor, that's your 2nd chord in the key of G, starts at the 5th fret of the E string, and the 5th chord in the key of G is D, and that starts at the 5th fret of the A string. In this video we will be following this chord sequence. The chord sequence will be written down below. Just remember it's 4 plucks per letter. So we'll be doing a bar of A minor, a bar of D. Now this can change song to song, but we're going to do 2 bars of G. So it'll be a bar of A minor, bar of D, bar of G. Again, bar of A minor, bar of D, bar of G. Another bar of G. So now we'll add the walking bass lines to it. In this video we'll be using the chords of A minor, D and G. So we know A minor now. Now the root of D is here, so we can either play this note or this note. So the 4th or the 6th on the string of A, the 4th or the 6th fret I should say. So we can play it this way, A minor. So it would be 1. So A minor will be here. That's to be 1, 2, 3. The 4th count will be the 4th fret of the A string, then into D. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. In case you're wondering where the 4th of D is, I'll show you in a minute. So A minor be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Again, A minor. Normally I move this finger back in 1 fret. So A minor for that 4th count I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the A minor to the D. So now we'll cover the D to the G. So D again is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So for the 4th count of D, we're at the 4th fret of the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then into the D chord. G, sorry. So D would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So that entire sequence from A minor to G would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, A minor. A minor, after 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that entire sequence again. Depending whether you're playing 2 bars of G or 1, this is the technique to go from the G back to the A minor chord. So we'll pretend we're doing 2 bars of G. The first bar we play normally. The second bar, 1, 2, 3. Then the fourth count will be on the 4th fret of the E string, then into the A minor. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Back into the A minor. If you were doing 1 bar of G, you'd simply play 1, 2, 3. If it was 1 bar of G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and continue with the chord sequence. So now I will give a quick demonstration of that chord progression without walking bass lines. I'll just be playing one bar of A minor, 1 bar of D, 1 bar of G. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I will give a demonstration of that chord progression using walking jazz bass lines. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a quick lesson on walking jazz bass lines over I won't say common, but a standard chord progression in jazz music. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the description down below you will find links to our Facebook page, Twitter page, and of course our web page. Until next time, keep playing, keep practicing, and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about ukulele-bass, U-bass, or as I will call it, a short scale bass guitar, because that is what it is. It is tuned E, the string nearest your chin, A, D, and G. That is E, A, D, G. If this was a guitar, there'd be 2 more treble strings here. So it's like the bass strings on a normal guitar. So let's get started. In the previous videos we've been discussing walking jazz bass lines, but like I said, you don't have to use them just on jazz songs. They can be used in normal rock, pop, country, any music you wish. They're just called walking jazz lines, jazz bass lines. In this video we'll be discussing them over a, shall we say, 1950s chord progression. The chords we will be using in this video are G, the 3rd fret of the E string, C, the 3rd fret of the A string, D, the 5th fret of the A string, and E minor, the 7th fret of the A string. The chords will be G, your normal shape, C, your normal shape, D, your normal shape, E minor, we do an E chord here at the 7th, but move this finger 1 fret back towards the tuning pegs. So E major will be there, E minor. So that would be major, that would be minor. You're moving this finger 1 fret back towards the tuning pegs. So let's get started. We are moving from G to E minor here. So we play G normally like this. We only play on the counts of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we swap this finger at the 6th fret for the 4, then into the E minor. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Again, G to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. G to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. G to E minor. 1, 2, 3. So on the count of 3, you're playing the first 3 notes in the G chord. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th count, you're switching this finger, your middle finger, to the 6th fret of the A string, then into the E minor. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we will switch from the E minor to the C chord. So again, E minor, you play on the first 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. Then you take this finger and move it back to the 2nd fret of the A string. 4, then into C. 1, 2, 3. E minor on the first 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3. So E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor. E minor. E minor. Then we need to move from the C to the D, which is a little bit easier. You play the first 3 beats on C. 1, 2, 3. Slide this finger up to the 4th fret, then into the D chord. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So in G, so from C to D, you're playing 1, 2, 3. This finger on the 4th fret at the A string, then to D. And from D to G, we simply play on the first 3 beats of D. Then this finger, your first finger, 4th fret of the E string, then into G again. So it'll be D, D. First 3 counts of that bar. 1, 2, 3. The 4th is here at the 4th fret of the E string, then into the G chord. So it'll be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Again, D to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So now we'll play that entire sequence using jazz bass lines. So we're starting off in G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again, very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So now I'll play that chord progression without jazz bass lines. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'll play that chord progression with walking jazz bass lines. I'll do it very slowly so you can see my hands moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'll perform that bass line at a bit more speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, you can use that walking style bass line on any form of song. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the description down below you'll find links to our Facebook page, Twitter page and of course our web page. So until next time, keep playing, keep practicing and goodbye. Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the U-Bass, Ukulele-Bass or a short scale bass guitar. It is tuned E, A, D, G. E, the string nearest your chin, is the thickest one. A, D, G. If you play guitar there'll be 2 more strings here. So let's get started. In this video we'll be discussing more things you can do with the walking jazz bass line. For this video you may need to have seen 1 or 2 of the previous videos in this series. So let's see what else we can do with a walking jazz bass line. So far in this series of videos we've been counting pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, performing 1 pluck per count. This time we're going to change that a little bit. We're going back to the 12-bar blues, but this time we're going to add a few more things to it to make it a bit more interesting than playing it the same way every time. So let's get started. So we have in the 12-bar blues in the key of G 4 bars of G. We're going to back to what we originally did and just pluck once per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In that quick demonstration you'll have noticed I played the chromatic note or the note before the next root note on the last bar of each change. So in the 12-bar blues in the key of G we've got 4 bars of G. So the first 4 bars you just play like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the last bar 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 2 bars of C now, that's the first. Second bar of C we play 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got 2 bars of G. That's the first one. Second bar, we're going from G to a D. So do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we'll go for that last bit again. From G to D, we play 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. From going from D to C. The fourth of D is this note here on the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we'll have a run through the 12 bar blues again. So remember, the bar before you change to the other chord, you play on the last beat of that bar, you play one note to the left or the right of the chord you're changing to. So we'll do it very slowly in the key of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 bars of G as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't always have to play 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we're going to play roots and thirds. This is the root, this is the third, this is the fifth. Root, third, fifth. Root, third, fifth. So we're going to play the root on 1, then the third on 2, 3 and 4. So the first 4 bars in the 12 bar blues of G will be when we drop to C, this has already been played, so we just do first bar, 2, on the second bar we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 8 bars will be 1, 2, 3, 4, G again, G again, G again, C, again the first 8 bars in the key of G. One more time. Moving from the G to the D using that progression, we do it this way. 1, 2, 3. So we play 1 there, 2 and 3 here, on the 4th on there. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, then into D, G, again G, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And from D to C back to G will be like this. 1, 2, 3. So D would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, D. 1, So now I will play that chord progression using that formula. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, you can mix it all up in one song. So we'll do this over the first 4 bars in the key of G. So we'll play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we'll mix it up again just on the first 4 bars of G. So I'll be either playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So as you can see, there is plenty you can do with just a few notes on a bass guitar or U-bass or ukulele bass, whichever name you wish to call it by. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. In the description down below you'll find links to our Twitter page, Facebook page and of course our web page. Until next time, keep playing, keep practicing and goodbye.